Oh, God. Good evening. Welcome to the Doc Day Drinking Evening Podcast, where we have tea because we're old farts.
I want scotch so badly.
Yeah.
But I'm not allowed.
You were trying to drink at lunchtime today, but we resisted.
We tried very hard to drink at lunchtime, but
yes.
we soldiered through. What was funny, I was in the mood for drinking, and I'd cooked, and we were hungry because we'd eaten reasonably. I haven't eaten much over the last few days.
We had eggs and toast for breakfast, so that's perfectly reasonable. At
riveting information.
Brunch time.
But anyway, so we're starving and hungry, and again in Launceston, food desert that it is, there's nowhere to eat. That sort of suited us, and there was a new Japanese place in Mowbray that just teased us because we walked in there, and it will last. So let us gaze into our crystal balls. I give it 6 weeks or 6 months.
Okay, yeah.
6 weeks if no one's bankrolling it, like if we're not on some sort of
grant from someone.
Some government grant thing. But if it's actually, or 6 months if it has, because there's nothing on the menu you would possibly want. And there's nothing on the menu that the locals would even understand.
Either.
No, it was just all fried chicken.
There's one side that says noodle, and one side that says rice, so there was 3 things, and then there was something else, and a bit of sushi in the front. The sushi's expensive like everywhere else here. And then, yeah.
And it's got a sign out the front saying Japanese restaurant, so there's hand rolls, which aren't very Japanese, really, if you want to argue about it.
And that's it.
And
teriyaki chicken.
And teriyaki chicken and fried chicken. I think it was honey chicken.
Fried chicken. Everything
lemon
was
chicken.
fried.
It was chicken and rice.
Weird.
Should be. That's more Korean than Japanese.
Anyway, I know. So we came home and made lunch instead. Very good. Good lunch.
And made a very good lunch. Greek lunch, cathetes and salad. And I was dying for white wine to go with it. And I nearly relented, and then I looked at a bill that I got from a personal trainer that I engaged this week. As a trial, and it was very good, and it was funny because it was a personal training session where I thought by the end of it, I don't think I really did a lot. I don't feel I should have done more, and this morning I thought I was going to die. So, and this is
every muscle.
Yeah,
group.
And this is after me. I work in the yard all the time, and I'll run even though I've only recently gone back to the gym again after a short break from being ill. I'm still running like 5k.
Only doing so much.
Yeah, no, but I can run 5k and still get out of bed the next morning and not feel it. I do 3 sets of 10 things with this guy, and I nearly died this morning.
Well, that's why that HIIT stuff that I was doing was really good until they stopped it arbitrarily. Both nights that I went, they just cut it from the calendar. So that was the same. It was 45 minutes. That's all, really. That's why I was like, I don't think this is going to do anything. But I was getting much fitter and trimmer, and I would have kept going if they'd kept classes going.
I'll have a look.
But I can't go at 5:30 in the morning.
We need a personal assistant.
We need a personal trainer.
Anyway, the reason why I mentioned that and why it affected my lunch was that we'd agreed, it's $55 for a session, and then I got sent an invoice for $66, and then I said to the guy, hang on a second, and just forwarded him cut and pasted the bit in writing that said $55, and he went, oh, he's confused, it's just $66. Hey mate, give me an extra 17%. And I quickly wrote back. I started one response with, I like to be kissed. I like to be kissed. In the words of the philosopher Al Pacino in his seminal work Dog Day Afternoon, it's like, I like to be kissed when I'm getting fucked. And I said that, and you're like, don't do that. And
you're hangry. Eat something first.
And in the end, I did write the much more corporate. So you're saying you're not going to honour
the original agreed price.
The agreed price in the invoice. And then so that was the slightest possible lean. And then he's written back, oh no, we can do it for $55 from here, and it's like, why does everything have to be a fucking... I don't think that's a grift. I think it's just...
a to-do.
And just a retail. Hey, mate, give me another fucking 20%.
Yeah. No.
Thanks. No. I don't owe you. If it's your employee, he owes you $11. I don't owe you $11.
I was told this.
Because I wouldn't have said... Because 66 for 45 minutes of personal training, that's a fair chunk of money.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, 55 is a fair chunk of money as well. But 66, I probably would have went, maybe, but again, it's the principle of the thing. And
everything's shit.
because literally for $66 I could go down the road and get a hand job for $66.
Well, as I said, I think, my Sydney prices that I keep getting quoted for things on this event that I'm organising is ridiculous as well. So, again, I got quoted $995, probably plus GST, for someone to come in and help me.
Stand there.
Not even stand there, and then leave. Like, come in, plug a USB in to my own laptop and make it talk to the existing projector on the roof and put it on the existing wall that it's facing and leave. $1,000.
And that's where this...
And I wrote back and said that to them and said, hard pass.
And that's where this large institution we shall leave out, because we didn't mention it, I don't think, but a large, government institution... Building... public asset building. Turns out they don't own. We don't own the projector.
Because then, when I said hard pass, that's too much money for. And I said that to them using the existing thing, the existing wall, and my laptop.
It should be complimentary.
I got told that the projector on the ceiling is not owned by the large government building that I've rented the space in. That they're an external supplier, and that's their projector. And that's why
they want $1,000.
They want $1,000
for someone to come in to turn it on.
Pretty much.
And you're not allowed to use it if they don't come in and turn it on.
No.
Right.
So
cool.
It's just insane.
And
it's
then what was the other follow-up thing? Which to me I said, and this is why China is just going to eat our lunch completely.
And then when I told the person at the thing that I'm just going to go and buy my own projector and use my own laptop because I'm capable of that and put it on the wall for less than $1,000, she said we require the vendor to have public liability insurance. And I wrote back and said, I am the vendor, so you're telling me I need public liability.
Have they written back?
And the person that I'm working with, I copied in, and he wrote back and said, we have that. And she said, great, can you forward it?
Fuck.
Like, you're a fucking dickhead, honestly. Like, this is why no one gets anything done, and everything costs so much, and you're a seat moistener, and just get out of my way.
And that's why I said to you, what she was asking is an office level of public liability.
Yeah. I'm like, I can do my job and I'm covered.
And of course is it insurance or banking? I can't remember.
This one is insurance.
It's insurance, right? So, and your insurance product, of course, has public liability include...
If I do cartwheels along the edge of the balcony, no, I'm not covered. But yes. I can press on my laptop and turn the projector on. I'm pretty sure I'm good.
If you get a paper cut... You're going to be...
I can plug a USB in and hit start.
If you get a paper cut...
I'm good. Everyone's covered.
And then lemon juice gets in it from the martini that you're having.
Stand back, everybody.
What a load. But it's that's the sort of thing which I look at time and time again. And I go, when people go, why does everything cost so much? That's why.
Because people are so dumb.
That's why. It's
Arse
not...
covering.
Well, as I always say, it's stuff that...
Just fucking... Jesus Christ.
Like, it's bad that people were injured at work and things, and
it's terrible.
And there wasn't a safety culture and all that kind of bullshit. But it gets to a point, and they've fixed a lot of those things. But it also gets to a point where there's diminishing returns, and really now it's the point of, because we've seen it with like these developments we continue to harp on about, in the bar that we own and all this sort of stuff. It's like all of this shit now. There's all the things that you say you've got to make sure, like there's basic inspections for things and all the rest of it. And those are the sort of things that, okay, you're not going to kill people or the people that work for you. Yeah. But then it gets to the point of, you need this certificate and that certificate and this report. All done by disinterested, incompetent people. Retarded people.
And we've read...
The girl that came in and did our foods inspection, I think actually was clinically retarded. She was a mouth breather.
Yeah.
And she's in here telling me, how do you do this?
She wasn't talking to you because I was meant to be doing that, but you couldn't help yourself because you were meant to be sitting in the corner quietly because I said, I've got this, because I knew she's a fucking moron. So
I vaguely remember you pointing to me and going, "Well, he's a doctor. Do you want his fucking opinion on that?" So I was used as a prop at one point.
Yes, there was. I think I said, he's a doctor and I'm an ex-marketing bank executive. I don't even understand what you're asking me. Because she was asking, the questions were so dumb, I didn't actually understand what she was asking me. And I realised at one point she was asking me how I got my shopping from Woolworths to the bar. And I had to physically tell her, because she wanted the words to come out of my mouth, that I put it in a cold bag and I walk it up the street and I put it in the fridge. Because that's what she had on her clipboard in front of her. Because she was staring at me and I was staring at her as if to say... And I was this close to, again, I'm thinking, I don't know what the fuck you want me to say, you moron. I don't understand the question. It's common sense. But she needed those words to come out of my mouth. Anyway, I saw her the other day. Side note. She was wandering down the street looking like...
Just bumping into things randomly?
Yeah, she was like, la, 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 in her uniform. And I thought, oh, God. Anyway.
The guy before her was fine.
Yeah, he was fine.
And much more reasonable. But, yeah. But, yeah, again. So, anyway, when you're asking, when dear listener, people are asking, why are things so expensive? Why are things... Because of that. Like this house that we're sitting in right now, we need a bushfire report. It's just someone printing. They've got some boilerplate bullshit.
They copy and paste.
They just look at it. Oh, we've done a desk check. So they look at most they look at Google Earth and say, how many planes are there? Yeah. And then they pull a number out of their ass, literally, 0, 12.5, 25. Yeah. And then they go, that's what it is, and charge you $1,500 for it. Nothing is done. And no site visit, nothing.
No. And they give the same report to everyone, I reckon.
Yep.
They just change the name of the client on the top of the page.
Yeah.
And it's to tick a box somewhere.
Yeah. There'd be a government fire, blah blah blah, mapping, and they'd go, which one is it in? Is it in the 0 one, the 12.5 one, and the 25 one, and then just charge you $1,500?
Yeah, you can get rid of all this shit.
So that's one. The other one...
People wonder why houses cost so much, because of all the shit.
You need soil testing. That's also conducted by morons.
Yep.
And it doesn't make any difference.
My favourite one for the current property that
we had to have a glazing certificate.
Did we?
Yes.
Fuck. Was that the one we were missing?
Yeah. Oh, you're missing your glazing certificate. So you get in touch with someone. Can I have a glazing certificate? Here's your glazing certificate.
We bought the windows from a supplier. We didn't make them ourselves. But no, my favourite was our... What's it called? Shit doesn't run uphill is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, the septic system.
Septic system.
They've gone broke now.
Yes. So our septic system
was uphill.
It was uphill.
So when we come in, where the house
the
went.
people we had to use, because you have to use Tasmanians for a lot of this. It is mandated here.
This was thousands and thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars. And they put our shit tank uphill.
Yeah. This was like $5,000. Like it was a lot of money that one. Yeah. And that company is now defunct. What a load of shit. Fuck them.
Yeah. But you had to have it, and they fucked it up.
And you have to use Tasmanian companies, and...
so dumb.
And, yeah, it was just... And we saw... They saw one version they sent to us, and he covered by saying, oh, the trainee or something did that. They'd put the transpiration beds on the high side of the dam. And I went, do you know how to spell cholera? Are you out of your fucking mind?
Sorry about that.
And I'm going, I'm forced to use you.
Yeah.
So it's all this sort of stuff. Like, it's just, they've made it's so, because it's just so not important. It's just so not important.
Yeah, no, but again, no one does their job properly anymore.
You need to see that the house is roughly where it's meant to be, and roughly where it's meant to be is is it sufficiently away from the boundary not to cause trouble with the neighbours? Are the foundations dug deep enough?
Is it sound?
That's it.
And then
anything else,
do whatever they want.
If it's not in the wrong spot, and if the foundations are reasonably right, and no one fucking argues, who cares?
And if it falls down, it won't hit anything.
If it falls down, tough luck.
No, but I mean, if you're in suburbia, if it falls down, it won't hit your neighbours.
Well, that's part of the idea of having it away enough that it go oops and not.
Well, they've started to fall down in Sydney. Remember? Have they figured out what happened with that one yet?
No, I haven't looked back. I'm sure there'll be an investigation.
Oh, God, of course there will.
Amongst people that also don't know what they're doing.
Don't know what they're looking for.
Like,
I do enjoy the people that come and inspect things too and have no qualifications in the area of what they're inspecting.
The people that come and inspect, the guys that have inspected us, so we've had to engage a building surveyor. Bless them, it's exactly what I want. They are criminally incompetent.
The building surveyor?
Yeah. Did he, to do the occupancy inspection, did he come in the house?
No.
How long was he on the premises?
Don't know.
Was it longer than 10 minutes?
Don't know. Because he arrived at a time that was not
I was going to say,
agreed.
don't know, because council might be watching this conversation at some point.
Anyway, we got something else to talk about apart from us just whinging?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So to quickly recap, we still hate Launceston. There's still no food here.
No.
The bar still sucks. I still haven't got the courage to close it. What else is there? That's about it.
I had a good day today. I made some chutney.
Which is not chutney-like at all. So in farm news, Charlie made chutney.
Yeah, well, again, first attempt at this recipe that came with the bread maker, so usually they're pretty good.
I think you need to review, because I think you've basically created warm, chopped chilies.
No.
There just didn't seem to be enough moisture in it, or liquid in it.
It's chutney.
Yeah, but it should...
Anyway.
Let's wait for it to let's let it cool down properly and see what it is. But to me, it just looks like chopped vegetables. Like there doesn't seem to actually be any sauce in it. Chutney does have a sauce quality to it. I know. Yes. Does your chutney have a sauce quality to it? If we weren't rotoscoping this, I'd be going, "What do you think?"
Anyway, moving on.
You brought it up. Right. So, dear listener, we've invested $6 in an examiner.
Yes, I've paid big bucks.
We've paid big bucks
for the exaggerator.
To look at what
because everything's behind a paywall here.
But
what do you got? What's headline news in Tasmania?
Headline news in Tasmania today. So
what can I comment on?
Almost nothing. We'll start at the really ridiculous stuff. So let's talk about how small the north of Tasmania is and what will actually make the news.
Oh,
Georgetown's Future Impact Group will install 2 portable dining decks at Macquarie Street. Georgetown's Future Input Group, FIG, is currently seeking applicants for its Parklet pilot program, which proponents hope will renew the municipality's nightlife. So, ladies and gentlemen...
I don't understand.
Well, let me explain to you. A parklet in Tasmania is you get a 20-foot shipping container, chop it off at the base... Just keep the base and stick some fucking chairs and tables on it.
The wood things that are in town, the platforms that they put on the road,
they put on the road,
take parking spots away.
So they take parking spots away. So let's set that to a side one seat. So it's basically some portable seating.
Yes.
That takes up approximately 1 or 2 car spaces.
Right.
So it's basically a shipping container bottom.
Right.
This is headline news. This is...
Oh, Tasmania is a very small island.
This is top left hand on the masthead.
Jesus Christ.
That's what we're going for. So for those from... As we do have some Sydney listeners, most of which we're related to, either by blood or marriage.
Wow.
We stick a... So someone's put some chairs and tables out in the main street of Campbelltown. It's not even the main street of Macquarie Fields, because...
Georgetown is not...
It's a shithole with a beach.
I quite like it, but...
It's a shithole with a beach.
Yeah, apparently. It's pretty, but it's full of Tasmanians.
And it's...
Georgetonians?
They call it the ghetto.
They do call it the ghetto here.
So, when...
Great, all right.
When the people that live there call it the ghetto...
That's why I was laughing at the fact that Penguin tried to get their bins on the heritage listing. Jesus
this is the
Christ.
Thing. According to the spokesman, the trial will give valuable insights into whether there was an appetite for more street-side dining facilities in the area and open a door to a permanent parklet policy.
I would
put that
1
PPP,
week.
Permanent Parklet Policy. We're experimenting with alliteration.
It's wooden too. I give it 1 week before someone sets it on fire.
Up there?
Yeah, in the ghetto. Wow. They're actually quite nice, but they're all wooden on the outside and they've got pots in them, I think. Well, if they're the same as the ones that are in Launceston. But
it just sucks.
Someone will set it on fire.
Imagine a tiny version. Here's the equivalent, especially since I went through it recently. Imagine a tiny version of The Entrance. That's basically what Georgetown is.
Yeah. It's got a...
Just as shitty, just as many fucking things out in the... Like another place you go, why isn't this nice? This should be nice. Because the last time I went through The Entrance, it was a fucking shithole.
I think Georgetown's okay.
Yeah.
Georgetown's got two good one better than the other. It's got 2 pubs.
How many people have I written things for to get them off assault charges that have beaten the hell out of people with knuckle dusters in at least one of those pubs? I haven't done that from anyone in a Sydney... I know you're pro-parklet. Anyway, allow me to step it back a little bit. I think Georgetown is nice too. Technically, we own a very small part of Georgetown. She's blinking at me like she wants to kill me. But the people can be a shame. But that being said, we've never had a problem there, have we? Nope, we're shutting down, aren't we? Come on, turn your back. Use your words.
We've
No,
never had a problem.
thank you. Next. We move on from Georgetown, or do you want me to dig myself out of this hole first?
No, move on.
All right.
I'm not talking about a fucking trailer that's been put on the side of the road.
Okay, that's the main thing. But I was mainly putting the boot into Georgetown. But it is lovely, and I wonder how many people it's caught unawares from interstate. Yes, people have gone, this is lovely, why don't we buy here? And because, as I keep digging my way out of it, this is years of being married here that shows me how to do this properly. We haven't had a problem there. We've had some really nice lunches there. In spring, it's lovely and all the rest of it. But everyone you meet that's from there, you go...
Oh, you don't want to interact with people.
Why am I talking
Apart
to this
from
person?
Cousin Bridge, who's regularly there.
Well, they've made the news again.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's Georgetown.
What else you got?
Phoenix Bar and Restaurant licensee owes rent arrears.
We were talking about this morning.
So this is... Which I think we've probably mentioned in the...
We have. We said when we were talking about things that were closing down, that was one of them.
We've mentioned this before. So they're just basically putting the boot into this poor bastard.
Well, there's plenty to put the boot in for. Fucking hell.
But when you're actually showing him a full photo of him and just airing all of his dirty laundry, to me this just reads like he's already stood up in court and shown how far behind the 8 ball is. We've taken a decision that he can't possibly afford a libel suit, so let's just say whatever we want about him. Because if they wrote half of that about me in the paper, I'd sue them.
Yeah, but it's all based in fact, from what I can tell. It's all based on court summons. So,
which, not court conviction, and as you well know, counsel, the truth defence isn't a slam dunk in Australian defamation law. But
he's also somewhat public, just like me. I'm a licensee of a
publican.
Yes, so he's a public figure somewhat.
That's a funny thing. Do you ever think you'd ever be a publican in this life?
I'm a licensee, I'm not a publican. I don't own a pub. I own a
Similar.
bar.
Same thing.
But the bits that were very interesting, he's got some serious drug problems, and he's been caught.
I wouldn't even consider it a serious drug problem. I think he's got a serious mental, like he's nuts.
Oh, he's mental. I was getting there. He's got a drug problem. He's mental. He seems to put himself in harm's way as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, more pathetic Tasmanian
Jesus Christ,
and
it
hospitality news.
Oh.
Stillwater challenges reflected across the hospitality industry.
What does that mean?
So Stillwater's
the restaurant.
a shitty restaurant.
No, we haven't been there yet. We don't know if it's shitty.
I've been there before many times and it was shitty. It was good, it's Tasmanian. It's good, then bad, and then good, and then alright, and then, it's good again, and then shit.
Right.
So it was inconsistent.
I've never been.
I don't know what it is like now. I don't know if it's changed hands since the 20 years since I've been it, but I used to go there a lot, because you used to be able to go there and get a degustation for $80.
Oh, okay, cool. That would have been good.
Yeah, it was.
Alright. So what does this mean? What have they done?
The hospitality, again, the hospitality industry says they are addressing the issues challenging the industry, which led to Launceston Stillwater calling an end to breakfast and Sunday services.
Who gives a fuck?
Stillwater co-owner Bianca Welsh said the restaurant would end its breakfast service amid a surge in costs and a shortage of skilled labour. She also confirmed it will
Sorry,
be closed
hang on,
from
wait.
Sundays on May 15. Skilled labour.
Wait, skilled labour to make some scrambled eggs and some toast.
Yeah.
You need skilled labour. No, you don't.
Well, you need people that have been through the Launceston City Council's rigorous mouth breathing.
Food prep handling.
Did they have a PhD on hand in the corner to point to and go, well, he's a fucking doctor and he's managed to figure it out? The fuck do you think?
Why is this news? Who cares if they've stopped making breakfast? Honestly, this is embarrassing.
Yep. Tasmanian Hospitality Association Chief Executive Steve Old
Shut up, Examiner.
said to see such an award-winning institution as Stillwater make the decision to cut back trading hours highlighted the environment the industry was in. Granted, we just checked the till at the bar. It hasn't sold a drink in an hour and a half. So.
Good. Thursdays are finally done.
Yeah, I think so. Bianca Welsh has been a huge advocate for hospitality, and I commend her for ensuring Stillwater will provide the important mix of work-life balance for her staff. What is this drivel?
What does that mean? What are you talking about?
She's going. So it's an important mix of work-life balance for her staff, like trying to spin a positive for them not being open on Sunday. I'd imagine the staff probably wanted the double bubble on Sunday, which was allowing them.
You don't even get that anymore.
Yeah, it's not as much, is it?
No, because these idiots gave it away. Okay, weird. That's news.
The last bit that I thought was amusing, he said the THA had been investing heavily into workforce development in the past 18 months to address worker and skill shortages. So, if you want to work in a bar in Tasmania, you do an online course from GTA, Galaxy Training Australia.
Yes, very good.
Which costs $19.
Yes.
And takes an hour and a half.
Max. Oh, you have to do the video callback thing. I can't even remember what it was, where you have to do the scenarios. That's the longest bit.
You can do it in an afternoon.
Yeah.
No problem. While watching some other telly and eating toast.
And if you want to work
$90.
in a restaurant, apart from out the back cooking shit...
Unless you're going to be one of those retards that are doing tech.
I don't know. What are they banging on about?
It's so funny. But those ones are so serious. Like, okay, now what have you done? No, you've taken all their money. You have to give them some change. Oh, we've enjoyed those tech things, but they are special people that are enrolled in those courses.
Anywho, right, cool.
So
high caliber news today.
Oh yeah, fresh comedy uproots from Bogues to Sports Garden Hotel.
Oh,
so this was our earliest podcast. So as a part of that, you maybe disagreed with me, but a part of that $1 million that the Tasmanian government gave to Lion Nathan to keep a pub open, the third-rate comedy show that was there, that was the fourth-rate comedy show that was at our bar, has even moved on from it. So,
but they weren't. Fresh Comedy wasn't doing all of their stuff there either. It was their smaller gigs.
The way it was...
Because the bigger stuff has to go to a bigger location anyway, because they can't... The Bogues pub doesn't seat very many people.
The way they had certainly pushed it originally was the tours and also the venue, keeping the venue open. And I think the biggest draw of that venue...
Oh, it's definitely Fresh Comedy then.
Was the comedy.
Yeah. It's the only draw, that's the only thing they have.
And that's my point.
Apart from the trivia on Thursday nights, which is just a normal pub
Which
thing.
was also run by the same people.
No.
I thought it was.
No, different.
I'll split the difference and say
Bell.
they were involved.
Yeah, Bell's Fresh, Little's Trivia.
Yeah, same difference, right?
No, I think employed directly by Bogues for that.
Really?
Trivia. Yeah.
No.
Anyway,
is that still on? I wonder.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think so.
All right.
I think he's a one-man band though. There used to be two dudes that did it.
$1 million
it was Radio
sensibly
Man.
spent.
It was Radio Face that moved.
Yeah.
That used to do it with him.
All right.
The one who actually has a proper job, goes and does shit. No,
There's
Matt has a proper job. I'm talking about the other comedians that don't have proper jobs.
There's not a lot of love lost between us in the Launceston community.
It's not love lost. It is a bit love lost. It's just sad. Like they're just.
So
you could be good and you're not.
To recap for 6 seconds.
Some of you are shit.
We had a comedy night, which we did, and I was so impressed originally by the quality of it that it was a proper show, and it's like, all right, we should do it. So very quickly we'd gone from all these comedians that didn't have anywhere to perform really at the time, ish. They did and they didn't. Like, I don't think there was much that was regular on that they were guaranteed
once a month, maybe.
Yeah. So we did that, and we paid them. They were none of them were ever getting paid before.
Yeah, to the point where they didn't give us the right paperwork because I wanted paperwork because you're getting paid, dude.
So we paid them, and so they were all basically paid for...
Can't you just give me $50? No, I can't.
For 10 minutes, they're getting paid $50. And for the little I understand about the comedy scene, still 5 or 10 minutes when you're a nobody is
open to all comers.
Is good.
Yeah.
Right? Especially when you're in Tassie, you don't have to travel.
And that went on for...
a good while.
Couple of months.
6 months.
Yeah, I was just...
And in the end, despite us trying to get it to them not realising, sales started going down because none of them would do new material.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And
I heard
it was
the same joke like 6 times from the same person.
The same people, the same jokes. And
our crowd was regular who were coming.
We sold out everything until... we started to not sell out, and then we had trouble selling 20 tickets.
Because they kept hearing the same material, and no one wants to come
and the feedback was they're doing the same stuff. And I told them, you need to, for this to work, you need to do new material.
And it doesn't have to be polished, just new shit.
Just try it out, it doesn't matter. And
it was
people...
$10 a ticket,
and the
wasn't
people...
it? How much was a ticket?
Yeah.
It's $10, and people knew that it was a...
Yeah. And they, like all stupid... losers, because I will not mentioning any of your names, but yes, those group of people, the majority of them were losers. You heard it here first, and they,
it's just so
not all of them,
sad.
but most of them. And you said, can I give you some? Like the feedback is, we can't do this if you don't do new stuff because it's a rerun, and you can't you put in the same thing on.
A ticket
and they basically
conscience.
said, what would you know? Go fuck yourself. And I went, okay. Fuck you. And then it finished. And everyone asked, what happened to comedy? And it's just like, they wouldn't do new stuff, and they told me to go fuck myself so they can fuck off. And I'm really hoping at some point I do get the road to open mic night is paved with good intentions, because every time I sort of think at the beginning of the week I should do that, and by Thursday, like right now, I go,
don't want to do it.
Fuck it, I can't be bothered. But I will at some point.
But again, and they're still down around town doing the same
same shit in the same shit bars. And that's what I sort of said to you this morning when we saw it. It's like, we should go buy a ticket and go along and see
if it's the same material,
and see if it's the same act, and then go, do you want to come back and do another one? But all the ringleader, because all the people that were involved in all their little hangers on, after I told them to get fucked, they all just disappeared, and we haven't seen them since. And it's like,
because it's a pissing contest, and they don't like being told that. No, just no. Full stop.
All right, let's do it your way. What you live in your mother's basement, do you?
Even.
Yeah, and I own a fucking club outright. Okay, let's do it your way. How'd you get here tonight, mate? You walked?
No, one of the comments that I got was, what was you? Can't remember. Something about, it's not all about the money. It's like we don't have to pay people. I'm like, are you? That was one of them, on behalf of all the other ones who needed the $50. Like, they're all poor.
Oh, really poor?
Yeah, like they had no money. They couldn't afford a drink. One of them, one in particular, who always needs a bit of a deodorant spray as well. That particular one.
They're all nerds.
But yeah, he needs the $50, and this other one's being a fucking dickhead, going, it's not all about the money, and and I'm like, yeah, it is, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
So anyway,
are you trying to be professional or not? Clearly not. So anyway, they're never going to go anywhere. Anywho.
Yeah. So.
How did we get onto that?
Fresh comedy moving.
Fresh comedy moving. Yeah. So they've moved into Sports Garden.
So this is very very local, very new local news.
Which is another pub.
Which is just another pub. So in other news, Invermay is still a shithole. So that house in Invermay that had a truck run through it.
With the poor dude that died.
Yeah, with the poor guy that obviously had a heart attack and just went through this house. So as soon as this house was destroyed, the locals...
Let me guess, they've just helped themselves. Seriously, what
following the accident, life dealt them another blow. The house was ransacked by thieves.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why weren't they in the house? Because it was derelict or
we weren't able
unsafe.
to continue living here after the accident because of the damage and the asbestos.
Oh God! Fucking hell!
What did the truck? Was the truck carting asbestos? What, the asbestos wasn't in there beforehand? I mean, but that's another thing. It's probably fibro.
Yeah, it's a fibro house. It's an old house.
Yeah, and
Are
do you know what?
grinding it up and snorting it? No,
No.
it's fine.
No, it's fibro. Yeah,
You've
'cause
been living in it
it's
for
not
how long?
asbestos, it's fibre cement.
Fibers. Oh fuck. Anyway, yep. Whatever.
So we came back to see the front door bashed in and our house ransacked. So there was glass everywhere and a lot of sentimental items were taken. We don't know why they took boxes with cards and things like the bracelet you get when you were born in hospital. All those things that don't mean anything to us. What got me the most was how they took our pillowcases off our pillows to carry our belongings.
That's normal.
Yeah, it just felt like a violation. It's my pillow, you know. So that shows it's a crime of opportunity.
The dude who was in my mum and dad's house had the Woolworths shopping bags. That's what he was using.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude.
They're not, you know, it's not Ocean's 11, you
No.
know, like they're not bringing vans
Lasers.
and there's lasers and the cases that all open up like
Hanging from the ceiling.
like a babushka doll. No, it's just some method going, I'll try this place. Can I get in? Oh yeah, it's open. Because obviously you would have been trying people's doors. Do you have a dog or not? Like, do the dogs go anything? Does the light come on? No, okay, is the door? Oh fuck, the door's open. All right, we're on. Okay, first of all, what do we need? Need some bags. And,
Bloody hell.
you know.
Anyway,
so,
poor bastards, but yeah.
You know,
I probably would have told them to go fuck themselves as they told them to leave my house because I know that's going to happen. Like, I would have stayed.
oh, but I'm worried about this and this and that.
You're a moron then.
Yeah.
Anyway, next.
No, that's about it, I think, for Tasmanian news.
Why are people so dumb?
I don't know what the point of this was. I think next time I'll try and make it a little bit more of a cohesive...
Is there anything good?
Not really. That's what I was saying. There's just a whole bunch of... Like, the headlines today...
Misery.
Launceston Council wheelie sorry about bin collection delay. Like, just all this...
Puns. I don't like a pun.
Yeah. More records than Elvis. Tasmania's job stunner.
What? What's Elvis got to do with it?
They believe in this. Well, let's go into it. Oh, this is a you know, a metaphor. Tasmanian employment records despite inflation and interest rates. So you want to have a laugh? So this is the first two paragraphs.
Sorry, records what? Or records?
That is the worst. Whoever is the sub-ed, they killed all the sub-editors.
No. Okay.
Sub-editors aren't a thing anymore.
Okay.
Remember?
Yep.
So, bulk of the copy. Tasmanian employment is achieving a series of best ever results despite rising interest rates and inflation squeezing households and business. The state unemployment rate stayed at a lowest on record back to 1978. Who wrote this? There's no prepositions. Lowest on record, 3.8% in March in trend terms, the Australian Bureau of Statistics estimated. So,
wow. Journalism isn't a job either.
well, it was a trade.
It was a trade.
Should have an of in there, guys. Anyway, do
What
you
are they trying to
honestly...
say?
They're trying to say that Tasmanian... So this is where we can laugh. They think that Tasmanian unemployment is 3.8%.
Yeah. Nah.
No fucking way. You could multiply that by 10.
Yeah.
The amount
what's
of people...
the definition of unemployment that they're using currently?
1 hour of work per week.
No, Tasmania, because they'll have something different.
I don't know. Well, no, it's from the ABS. So that's national. So however the ABS defines unemployment, and they also said it's as per the ABS. So we'd have to look that up separately.
Because everyone here is on a handout.
So the difference for me would be interested is if...
So they don't count the people with the handouts, obviously.
Oh, fuck no.
So they're not.
No. So what would be interesting is... Because it is... If you do 1 hour of paid employment a week... You're employed, right? But what would be interesting is, what about these bullshit things like the volunteer... Even though Work for the Dolls kind of... I'm not sure if that's back properly. But
like soup kitchen shit.
So if you go work in a soup kitchen, is that, you know?
I don't know.
But anyway, the idea of 3.8% unemployment, more than 3.8% of the, let's say, the Launceston area, we observe walking around like zombies off their face every day that we go into town.
No. Wow, cool.
You can't tell me that no less than 4 people out of 100 there aren't.
Which I will digress.
The Walking
we
Dead.
were talking about San Francisco and LA today, so I'd be interested in going and having a sticky beak and seeing how bad that is, because they reckon that that's really bad in terms of homeless people and shit everywhere. Because you said to me that Whole Foods had closed in San Francisco, and I went, no, that was the CSV or CVS or whatever the pharmacy was, and you said, no, it's actually Whole Foods, and I went, oh shit, that's
their flagship store.
Yeah, because of the theft.
I still think CVS shutting there is a bigger thing, because as we know, and if you haven't been to the States, CVS and like the Dwayne Reeds and all those things, they're like big stores that cover big chains that are, and they're really bizarre. They're like a combination. They're like a cross between a chemist and an IGA.
Yeah.
And often with a cafeteria in as well. So almost like
the bigger ones, yeah.
Yeah, like a cross between a what would I say? Like a service, like an Australian service station, like a big servo, but without the petrol.
Yeah.
So like all the shit that's in there, so like all the fast food and all those sorts of things, crossed with a chemist, crossed with an actual IGA.
Yeah, it's weird.
And those things closing to me, like they're...
Like that's the staple.
Yeah. And then Whole Foods closing there because they don't have supermarkets like we do.
Yeah, it's
like we have. It's like their supermarket closing.
Yeah.
So it'd be like...
It is a supermarket.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is it's not like they've got in every suburb a Coles, a Woolworths and an IGA. They really don't.
No.
They have like Whole Foods. It's all more fractious.
The fact that any of that big brand stuff's closing is weird.
A big deal.
It's like a Walmart closing.
Especially in San Francisco, because San Francisco traditionally was Whole Foods ground zero.
Yeah. So I said, where are all the rich people going to get their groceries from?
They'll have to send their personal assistants out to get it.
They will. We need one of those.
We do, desperately.
We're going to look into that.
So I identify as rich.
Jesus.
Without actually being. But it's like, we kind of have got PA money. I need a PA. Half PA, half personal trainer, and would break even just about.
I am going to get the lovely lady from my previous gym that I used to go to come and do stuff when we build up Pagoda. So in farm news, we're skipping around a bit here. So we're going to build a
generator hut.
A generator hut, and then also an exercise hut.
Exercise hut.
Yep. Excuse me. Outdoor area. We're calling it pagodas at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be pagoda styled or not, because I start thinking about building pagodas and go, it's just easier to build a sloping roof. Not for the exercise pagoda. We will make that a little bit, Japanese zen.
Because we need to hang boxing bag and stuff off it, don't we?
Yeah. It'll certainly need to be chunky, but that's fine. But
Anywho.
I'll see how I go. I'll try and build nicer things. Why can't we have nice things? But yes, we do have what's known in the industry as a power prison, but the power prison also has generators in it. And if the batteries catch fire, you lose your generators. If the generators catch fire, you lose your batteries.
So we're separating that out.
So we need to separate them out. And in any case, the fumes from the generators are really making
dirty.
Everything dirty, including, sensitive, delicate electronics.
Yeah.
So they need to be
to have their own houses.
They need to be separated.
Anyway,
that's probably it. A shorter podcast, which is good.
I can't believe I've spent $6 on that. I hope it gets better tomorrow. Fucking hell. I knew it wouldn't, though. It's so bad.
We need to do it as a proper run sheet to actually make it useful, so you would actually see, this today in northern Tasmania, this week in northern Tasmania. But yeah, it's really. But it is local reporting. But like, surely you could do something more than we're putting in some seating. It's like grants, like you the other day. It's like.
Oh, the playground.
Lilydale's getting a playground, and I'm going.
That was my same reaction. Who cares?
Fucking cares. Like, but that being said, you've got so many column inches to fill in this newspaper, and
that I suppose. And my other reaction too is that
just print the Harvey Norman catalogue and have a little
newsletter
on the back of it, because that's all most papers are these days.
Yeah, I'm just over it because it's all shit. This is why no one buys newspapers anymore, because there's shit in them, apart from crosswords. No, my other reaction to the Lilydale playground thing, which they're all getting excited about, is just like, can you not aim a bit higher than just a playground? Like, can't you do, like, kids these days, who wants a playground? Who cares?
Just print the Harvey Norman catalogue and have a little newsletter on the back of it, because that's all most papers are these days.
No, I'm just over it because it's all shit. This is why no one buys newspapers anymore, because there's shit in them, apart from crosswords. No, my other reaction to the Lilydale playground thing, which they're all getting excited about, is just like, can you not aim a bit higher than just a playground? Like,
especially when the town it's in is surrounded by open fields and stuff.
Rural.
It's not. Yeah, it's rural. Like you're properly rural.
How about you give them? What would they like? I don't know any children, but surely they want something technology based. Like, give them I don't know. Have they got computers? I don't know.
Do they have computers in
They've
the
got they've got phones.
I'm sure they do.
Well,
I think computers are old hat, wife.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what can they do with their phones?
Anything they want.
But yeah, outdoors.
Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, probably. Anyway, I just don't. Yeah, playground. Who cares?
Yeah, it's just small stuff. But again, we're in a small thing.
Give them
that's
extra textbooks for the school. Like they don't even use textbooks anymore. Give them more money for the school then. Like get them a better education. Who cares about a fucking playground?
Yeah. Well,
go for a walk down the street.
I think the original criticism wasn't so much that they were building a playground, that everybody was very excited about it. And it's like, God, really?
I'm both.
Like, hey?
I'm both. Why are you so excited, and why are they building a playground?
Just build a playground and go, hey, look, a playground. Okay, great. Don't worry. It's an opportunity for council to spend $250,000 on about
that's what
$1,000 worth of stock.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a playground. Like, wouldn't you rather have? Surely there's something else more
Children
useful
have to learn
they've
vandalism
got a pool.
somewhere.
Who cares? Like, they've got a pool. Go and swim a lap. Like, Lilydale has their own pool, which we don't.
Anyway, it's parochial stuff. It's a small place, but that's where we're trying to. We're just, we've got to look at the positives. You saw a good exhibition.
Yes, I'm going to go to that.
Coming. So
it's open now.
So some dodgy surgeon here is interested in Dali and has quite a lot, like a very large collection.
Dada Muse, it's called. He's had. That's the funny thing. I'd love to. I'll see if I have a chat to someone when I'm in there. So, why have you staged your own exhibition? Did the fuckwits not want you from all the other museums around here?
It's the same as us. It's like if you had that.
It's all his own stuff.
Well, put it in your own building.
So,
like,
you might have bought the building. Too. Anyway, but yeah, that looks good. That's coming. There's plenty of good things here. I just get
we both need to
very, very embarrassed by the smallness of things.
We're not Tasmanian. We shouldn't be
embarrassed by it. I'm embarrassed for them.
We're embarrassed on your behalf.
I identify as Tasmanian.
Do you? Since when?
No. I will never identify as Tasmanian, and they
don't want you. You could live here for 4 generations, and
they hate me.
No.
They always hate me.
No, no. We like, as we keep saying, which kind of like it's all. We haven't quite got it to a point that it's a mantra.
If I didn't like Tasmania, I wouldn't be here.
We'd sell this shit and move.
Yeah.
We like where we are. Launceston. We've just come to terms with Launceston, and that's what we found lots and lots of times. That there's lots of people here, including people that we're neighbours with. Launceston. Oh yeah, that place sucks.
Yes, it took us a little while it took you longer.
Because
than me.
I can see Launceston from where I am. It's like, this is Launceston. Because I'm in Launceston Council. No. So I'm in Launceston Council. I can basically see it. No. Okay, technically I can't see it because there's a hill in the way, but I can see the lights of Launceston over the hill. Yeah. But it's handy to the airport.
There's plenty of good things here.
Yeah. We've got a nice little yacht on a nice river and
heaps of great outdoorsy stuff.
Outdoorsy stuff's fine.
A few of the 5,000 projects that we've got to start making more time to do that, touristy things.
Yeah. I think we need to pick places to go and drive out to them and have a look at them and go, okay, all right, that's fine. And I hope not necessarily keep expectations low, which wouldn't hurt, but is there a positive way to keep expectations? Go, okay, it was good to see it. What's that thing? All right, okay, yep, all right, I've seen that. That's fine, cool. Yeah. Okay, did it change my life? No. Did I get a sandwich? No.
Don't get me started on sandwiches.
But yeah, you can't buy a sandwich in Launceston.
Good evening.
Good evening. That's it. So off you go, my children. Watch out for wolves, and we'll try and figure out what tomorrow. We'll try and figure out what this podcast's about at some point, rather than us just
let me know.
Complaining.
It's yours.
Supposedly, so it's an experiment.
In what?
Futility.
Great.
See you next time.
What number is this? How many more do I have to do?
67. I want 100. We're going to do 100
Jesus
podcasters, and then we're going to
Christ.
shot this in the face.
Good.
Because at 100, we'll know whether or not we've actually figured something out. I think we've, out of our 33 podcasts, I think we've actually done 3 that are good. And you know why? Because something interesting has happened here that we can talk about. And that's happened 3 times, I think. The fish lady, hilariously, the Tasmanians buying a pub. Tasmania almost buying a pub. And then there was another one we did maybe 5 or 6 episodes ago that wasn't bad. And that's it.
Great.
So we've got at the moment we've got approximately a 10% hit rate.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're hoping to go viral.
I'm going to go and have some ice cream.
Not herpes.
Jesus Christ. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm out.
She's out. And that's it. She's out.